Yeah.
Okay, come. Pick back up
Verse 4, yep. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords.
Right, so Gog and Magog is not Japheth. Gog and Magog is the so-called Edomites. You know, they're just talking about by that name because they took that land over. You know, so, and it says, you know, turn thee back, put hooks into thy jaw. You know, when you taking a horse, you put hooks in his jaw, you know, you're maneuvering it. You know, where you want it to go. So the most, you know what, the king's heart is in, you know, right. The most high is in the hands of the most high. So Esau is going to do basically whatever the most high is going to do, whatever the most high wants him to do. And you know, keep reading.
God. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya, with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomar and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. After many days thou shalt be visited. In the latter years thou shalt come into thy the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people against the mountain of Israel.
Hey, it said to Gog and Magog, it said be a guard unto them. You know, so basically being a guard is basically protect them. And you got instances of that. You know what, Russia is always, you know what, whether it was that country Georgia, I forgot what year that was, but America, Russia backed them. You know what, you got, I believe it's the Warsaw Pact. You know what, Russia backs them. You know, so Russia, you know what, has, you know, like the smaller nations. You got a movie called Black Hawk Down. And in that movie, I think it's about Somalian pirates, you know, basically were rebelling against the American government or whatever. And Russia was supplying them guns, RPGs, and all those type of guns. So that's, you know, being a guard, you know, to, you know, those nations. You know, basically protecting them. So that's what the Most High told them to do. You know, so you got your Russians, because that's who Gog and Magog. So your Russians supplying, you know, their nuclear weapons to, you know, Hezbollah or Iran. You know, so that's what Gog and Magog is basically doing, being a guard.
This is Jeremiah 51. Slovakia. Let me see. Yeah, this is Jeremiah 51 and 27. Set ye up a standard in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations, prepare the nations against her, call together against her the kingdoms of Ararat, Mineh, and Ashkenaz, appoint a captain against her, cause the horses to come up as the rough caterpillars, prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes, the captains thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion. You know, which the kings of the Medes is talking about Russia, because Russia lives in their land at this time. The same way that the so-called white man, when he went into the land of Greece, he began to call himself Greeks.
Basically, everywhere the white man goes, that's what he wants to be. You know, so he goes. If he goes, no matter where he goes, that's what he want to take upon those customs. So basically, he like blend in, because he was never given anything. You know, and that's why you know that they're the ones that you know who are perpetrating to be Israel now, because they went in our land, the Holy Land, and they're claiming to be, you know what, the Israelites. You got more than that?
Yeah, that's more. Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm, and thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land, thou and all thy bands and many people with thee. Let's talk about over 3.
You know, so Esau, you know what? Because Esau, there is no salvation for Esau. So he wants to get salvation through his military might, you know, for fighting for it. That's how Esau wants to get it. He wants to fight for his salvation, you know, but the Most High is going to fight for our kingdom. You know what?
Yeah, this is another precept. This is Joel 3:1. It says, "For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Yehoshaphat, and the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink." I can read that again. Verse 2, "And I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel."
Right, to be judged, you know, according to your ways.
"Whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land."
Right, so basically, you know what? Basically, as already been read, you know, it's karma coming back again. Can you get that Daniel 2?
This is Daniel
Valley of Decision.
I'll be right back. We're going to come
This is Daniel chapter 2, verse 45 or 44. "And in the days of these kings shall the Most High of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever."
Right, so this is Yahushua kingdom. When he finally gets in the rulership, his kingdom stands is going to last forever. You know, so we ain't going to have to worry about Satan coming out of, you know, getting out after 1,000 years. You know, getting all the nations together. Hey, come on, let's fight him. You know, so that's not going to happen.
You might be better. Yahushua's kingdom started 13.
This is Daniel chapter 7, verse 13. "I saw in the night vision, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed."
God, so there's nothing anybody can do, you know, to come up against this, you know, kingdom. Hey, brother, have you all heard of the Hebrew Israelites before? Okay, so today, basically, you know, to give you a wrap of what this is about, is you got these signs right here. It's talking about, you know, according to biblical prophecy, who is who according to, you know, the Bible. Like, do you know what your nationality is? I'm assuming not.
Okay. Well, go ahead.
Right. All right. What'd you say? All right, dude, you know what the word "more" means?
Black.
Okay. You know.
Okay. What does Negro mean? Okay. Huh?
Negro.
Negro. What is the word Negro? Not nigger. Not niggas. But Negro. It's just a word.
Peace, brothers.
Hey, the Moor is basically, you know, because there's not a Moor is not a nation. You know, right? It's, you know, put it like right. You know, so when you define, you know, identify as a nationality, you gotta say what nation do you come back, what people do you come back from? You know, because there's tons of, you know, black people. You know, because not all black people are the same. You know, because you got so-called East Indian, they're black. Some East,
black as him.
Some black as him.
Black as that.
You know, so nationality.
And mostly all these Indians that had traveled on the boats to America, they Mexicans.
West Indians.
Confused when they came over, and then they went back over there to Wayne and Isabella and Ferdinand.
Some of the ones got caught doing slavery time. Some of the ones got caught.
He's talking about Benjamin.
No, he's talking about the Taino Indians that were taken over to England.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
Genesis 40.
We know what you're talking about.
Okay.
But basically, you know, can you get Deuteronomy 28 verse 16? Do you believe in the Bible?
I believe it. Not the whole Bible.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Because there's thousands of written the Bible.
You believe it's been rewritten, right? So, all right, if you believe it's rewritten, don't you think, like, do you think that there's actual existence of the original?
I believe it's God.
Okay, I'm saying, like, do you believe that, you know, if you believe it's rewritten, like, do you believe it's what, like, King James and he took it and rewrote it and remastered, stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay, do anybody got Nature No More Colorblind?
I got. I think I got it. If I don't it, because I has it.
Okay, basically, King James, he was actually black. A lot of, a lot of people trip out about that. But the thing is that if he's black or whether he's white, you know what color he is. Whether he's black or white or what color he is, you know, you have to go and prove it. Because put it like this: do you know so-called black people ruled in Europe, right? Like, right. So, like, do you know the names of any specific black kings that ruled in Europe?
No.
Right. You know why you can't name them? Because every king that's ruled in Europe, white people took that picture and painted them white. Every single. You know, so if you go to Google Black Kings of Europe, there were some there. But when you look up, you're gonna find images of, I think I know what you're going to. When you're gonna find images of, you know, so-called white people, literally white people. Now that's not to say everybody that's in white throughout history of Europe is black, but you try looking for on your own time a history of a black king that ruled up in Europe, you're gonna find nothing but white people. And King James is one of those. If you look up black kings, he's one of those that actually were black who was painted white. It's called iconoclasm.
He got some.
Beautiful.
This is mixed race. This is Holland. Our people. This is in Holland, Belgium. This is Holland.
You call. I don't have it.
So everybody think that.
Yeah.
Everybody think that the so-called white man was only in those lands. No, he came in, conquered the people that was in those lands. What was you on? What you trying to break it down to?
Yeah.
Okay, get Luke 21 and 20.
No.
You got it.
Yeah.
Quick precept. This is Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
God, so saying the earth, because this earth right now is just giving it to the hand. When you get something to the hand, that means you control it. That's you. That's yours.
Yeah.
Can you grab that sign for me?
Count 11.
Because it said he covered the face of the judges. Now, when you cover something, you're trying to hide it. You know, so some of the judges, a judge is somebody who rules. Somebody like a King James, he would be considered like a judge. You know, on the lower level, like your angels, you know, your put like that. You know what? He takes those images and put like white angels, little white babies with feathers. You know, with fucking bow and arrows, stuff like that, diapers. You know what? This so-called is the Messiah. They took his face and they made him white. So it's nothing for them to, you know what, take somebody that's black and paint them white. You know, that's what they do.
Like, yeah.
Because they got cursed with the
Maccabees 3.
I got it. This is Maccabees 3 and 48. It laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images.
So this is what they do. They want to paint the likeness of their images. And also, what's beautiful is yesterday there was a movie that came out, Birth of a Nation. Do you intend to watching that?
I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna see it.
Now, what's beautiful in that movie is that shows what the Bible, what role the Bible played in the history for us. You know, because if you look at every major slave revolution, Gabriel Prosser, Denmark Vesey, Nat Turner, these are men that started slave revolutions with this book called the Bible. So they started, that was their inspiration. You know, so if you look at the movie Nat Turner, he's reading, you know, his fellow slaves, you know, scriptures to getting them riled up. Because at first they was reading like, oh, God loves everybody and slaves obey your master and stuff like that. So they read specific stuff. Nat Turner was a slave who learned how to read. He knew how to read. So he read it on his own. And he read the whole book. You know, so he read, whoa, wait a second. This book doesn't talk about love everybody. And so that's what you get in Sunday church. You know, this is what differentiates us between your Sunday's church. They want you to sing, dance, trip, you know, tithe, and, you know, just basically, you know, read 2 scriptures and say God loves everybody. But that's not what goes down.
And the beautiful thing behind Nat Turner is because it was spiritual what happened to him, and it shows you that the Most High gives man understanding, knowledge, and wisdom. Because even as a young man, growing up, not being able to not being taught how to read, he was able to look at the words inside of a book and to sound the words out, man. That was completely spiritual.
Yeah, that's spiritual.
That was completely spiritual right there, you know. And the event that took place with Nat Turner, that echoed throughout all different kind of slave plantations, as well as the different revolutions that took place in like Haiti. You know, there was revolutions that took place in Jamaica. All throughout the 1800s, the so-called white man doesn't push it out, the history out there. But there was a bunch of slave revolts that start happening following the event of Nat Turner. But they don't push that out there. And like the brother said, it was inspired by them reading the scriptures for themselves and seeing certain scriptures like Deuteronomy.